Hi, Frank LaRosa for Golf to Go. We're here at Sports 1140 KHTK doing the Golf to Go Golf Hour with Doug Christie and Scott Marsh as co-hosts. And we've got this man, Mike Woods from Hagan Oaks, the head golf professional. And we're going to interview Mike, find out what he really knows. So watch it.
Welcome back in the Golf to Go right here, Sports 1140 KHTK, taking you until 3 o'clock. And then it'll be Jay and DC taking you from 3 to 6. As we continue along, our next guest is a dear friend of all of us here. And Frank, I'm going to let you introduce him because there's nobody closer to all the great people at Hagan Oaks than you.
We need a drum roll, Frank?
Yeah, we do.
You know what? A little trumpet. You have a trumpet?
I don't have a trumpet, but just imagine one.
Interesting thing about Mike Woods, who's the head golf professional at Hagan Oaks, that golf course opened in 1932. That's a few years ago. Mike is the third head golf professional since that golf course opened.
That's amazing.
That is remarkable.
He's like a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach.
Oh, look at you. Just throwing random knowledge out there. I like it.
And Mike has been there how many years now?
31.
Yeah, so you only have, 34 to go to beat Ken Morton Sr.
That's right. I've got no chance.
Mike, welcome. As Scott said, you are beloved here in town, and I watch you walking around the property and just smiling and talking to folks, and they all come up to you and they've got a question, and you've got other things to do, but you certainly take the time, and you're really good at what you do.
Oh, thank you, Frank. I'm happy to be here. I'll never forget my first day at Hagan Oaks. My mom came out to visit. She doesn't play golf. And when she left or was leaving to go home, she said, "It just feels good out here." And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? And I think she's right.
Yeah.
So, Mike, how did you get into golf? I mean, where did you start?
Yeah, so I'm kind of your typical story. My dad loved to play golf, and when I was 5, he would take me out to the golf course, and I'd run around and play in the bunkers and whack shots here and there and have a ball. And I played every other sport too. And as I got older and got into college, I played golf and soccer at Sac State. And my soccer legs were hurting a lot, and I was falling more and more in love with golf. And, I grew up in Marin County, and the ability to play golf, there isn't a lot of golf down there for the public golfer. But I came to Sacramento. There's just all these golf courses and all these programs and just so many opportunities. And I think that really spurred on my love of the game, just having access to be able to play.
I'm sorry, Doug.
No.
The wonderful part about Hagan Oaks is and Ken Morton's legacy, but in 31 years, you've learned an awful lot because you've gone through the entire process. Somebody didn't just make you a head pro and, stick you out there and, go from there.
Yeah, that's so true. I was a business major. I graduated with a business degree at Sac State. I had no intentions of being in the golf business. Even when I was graduating, I really never even thought about it. I was working part-time at the course. And, Ken Morton brought me in his office and said, I think you'd be good at this. Maybe you should give it a try. How about you give it a try for a year? You're young. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you won't. What do you have to lose? And that was back in 1990. So it's amazing the ride that it's been.
Just being here, meeting Tom, meeting yourself, being over at Hagan Oaks, watching what I consider, and I'm sure you guys have seen a metamorphosis, but what's going on there now, even on the driving range and everything, just speak to everything that's going. It's happening, and I like it too. I always feel real good when I'm there, unless I don't hit it good.
Oh, very good. We're, Ken's always had this thought process that you're gonna do maybe 1 or 2 new things a year, things that are big and help you grow, and you're gonna look back 10 or 20 years and go, wow, look at all that we accomplished. And so one of those big things this year is definitely the introduction of Top Tracer, the product that's at Top Golf. Top Tracer is owned by Top Golf.
Okay.
And all the games that you play at Top Golf, you'll be able to play at Hagan Oaks starting next week.
What?
Probably middle of the week. We're just at the end of the build right now. So a lot of excitement about that. And, the range at Hagan Oaks, especially at night, has been this great place for people that are brand new to the game or don't even consider themselves golfers, but like to go out and whack the ball around and socialize and have a good time. And, we think this technology piece where you can see exactly how far it goes, you can have closest to the pins, you can play games, you can play Pebble Beach.
Wow.
You can do all kinds of stuff. We think it's just going to bring more and more people into the great game.
Oh,
Yeah, it's truly a complex. I mean, I go out there a lot in the evenings and I'll hit on the driving range. I see you out there a lot. I've used the practice holes on the other side as well. But I have to say, because I got a chance to play there last night and we're a part of a media league, Frank and myself, and the course itself is in immaculate condition. The greens are running. I know saying they run like Augusta because it's a Mackenzie course is unfair, but they're running fast and true. I mean, the course is in as good a condition as I've seen it, and that's a real tribute to you, Mike. Congrats on that because it played so great.
Well, thank you. Our superintendent, Rick White, and our assistant superintendent, Paul Toussaint, and their team, they get all the credit. And you're right, though. I tell you what, those greens are smooth and fast. The fairways are really firm. The ball's running down the fairway, and it's really, really fun to play. And we haven't got to the big heat yet. That's the big challenge for us people in the golf industry coming up. But it's a great time to be playing golf in Sacramento.
You know, Scott alluded to it, but Alistair Mackenzie, who designed that golf course, also designed Augusta National, as he says, and Cypress Point as well, and a couple of other, Pasatiempo. I mean, this is a man with, with some papers.
Yeah, that's for sure. If you're into that type of thing and you like golf course design, Alistair Mackenzie is really the standard. And, Hagan Oaks was such a different place when he built it so long ago. So, for example, the second hole on the Mackenzie course was 18. And behind that was the clubhouse, which was on Auburn Boulevard because there was no Business 80 freeway.
Oh, wow.
And there's been a lot of changes over the years, but if you're into design a little bit and you like, what his thinking model was, come into the Hagan Oaks Grill. The Mackenzie Grill, we have the blueprint of the original design and drawings of all the original greens, and it's really fascinating to look at.
Also in there is a copy of the check won by a famous golfer, his first check, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Ben Hogan, first time he cashed a check at Hagan Oaks. It was in the Sacramento Open in the 1930s. Hagan Oaks hosted a PGA Tour event every year. And again, you've got Ben Hogan and Sam Snee and Byron Nelson and all the amazing players from a long time ago. And it was such a different world, right? There really wasn't much money in it. I forget the amount of the check, but I think it was in the hundreds, if I remember correctly.
It was 200 and something. It wasn't. It wasn't very much more than that.
Yeah, and they used to come into town, and then the locals would put them up in their houses, and they would they'd play their 4-day tournament and just have a ball. And then they had just left Claremont Country Club down in Oakland, come up to Sacramento for the next PGA Tour event, and then they were headed to Reno to Washoe for the next PGA Tour event, and it was this caravan. There's no money in it. They did it for the love.
Oh, man, that is amazing. And when you talk about the love, you guys have about everything. When you say the grill, you got the incredible super shop there where, everything that you absolutely need. Just speak to all the different venues that you have on the property.
Yeah, what we've tried to do over the years is to create an environment where everybody feels comfortable and can come to shop for just about everything and anything that they're looking for. So when golfers are looking at improving, we have these amazing programs, group and private lessons, and all kinds of programming to improve your game. If you're looking for equipment, we're very known for fitting in the Superstore using the TrackMan launch monitor. If you want to play 18 or 9, we're one of the few courses in town where you can play 9 holes 7 days a week anytime the sun's up on the Arcade Creek Golf Course. That's really unique in itself. We host about 120 weddings a year in our pavilion, except for COVID years.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on and on. Right now we have in the neighborhood of about 17 assistant golf pros at Hagan Oaks, and there's just that much golfers that want to improve and learn and get better, and we need a big staff to be able to handle that demand.
Yeah.
The notion, as you say, that what is a golfer? Because you have programs for people that are disabled, programs for young girls starting in the game. You have a mentor program for business women that may have never touched a club, and that's how big now?
Yeah, it's monstrous. Linda Reed started our women's mentor program. The women play on Wednesday morning, Thursday night, and Friday morning, 9 holes. And we're up over 600 people in the program.
What?
And every week we have about 225 that play 9 holes every single week.
Wow.
And the whole idea is I want to play this game. It's really hard to kind of figure my way into it.
Yeah.
It's even harder if you're a woman getting into this game of golf that for, a century ago was so male dominated. And so the mentor program is designed where we have these women mentors that literally just take you by the hand and show you how to do it.
Wow.
And our whole goal is to just help the women be more comfortable on the golf course so they can go play anywhere and have a great time.
Tom, when I'm out and I go in the back and I hit balls and you got the academy back there, one of the things that I found, and I sat and talked with Tom for hours, and he hates me probably for that, but Canada started the long-term athletic development model, and a lot of that is in what you guys do. When you say, I'm going to take the kid to the golf course to get some lessons or to be in the academy, a lot of people might think one thing. It's a lot of bright colors and hoops and different things. Like, you guys think outside the box. I think that's spectacular.
Yeah, we're so lucky at Hagan Oaks to have Tom Morton. Tom is on the national committee for golf coaches for the PGA of America. He's very much in a place where he's testing the latest and greatest things at Hagan Oaks on how to learn, and he's really giving his input to shape it for the whole country for how we learn golf and how we enjoy golf. And a lot of the stuff that's come out of the Olympic athletes and some of the countries that have had a lot of success has come into golf through the model that you're referring to. And we've had a lot of success with it. And the goal is, especially with those kids, is make it fun.
Yes.
Make it fun and help their body develop, not necessarily for a golf swing, but just build muscle speed, flexibility, rotational speed. And all of that just lends themselves to being healthy and to excelling in all kinds of sports and, making golf a game that they enjoy for a lifetime.
Yeah, there's like a Mr. Miyagi deal to it where all of a sudden you're like,
wax on, wax off.
Oh, that's what I was learning? Great. I'm awesome. Whether they do it or not is not the point, because the same thing is with basketball and with soccer, and I've always wondered, why isn't it with golf? And now as I look at that, you guys are doing it. Some kids will take it and keep going with it. Some kids, this will be it. The same thing happens in soccer, baseball, basketball. Why is golf any different, man? Well done. At that part, I kind of kick back sometimes and look at the kids. I'm just like, they're having a blast, and some of them are going to be our next juniors as we watch them.
Yeah, so true. That's part of the most enjoyable thing I see at the golf course every day. And same thing with our stroke survivor program. We have individuals who struggle a bit, have a big health issue, and have a hard time getting back integrated with society and having a social connection. And through the program that we do, they come to the golf course, and we have adaptive equipment that really helps for them to be able to play golf in their own way. And next thing you know, they're smiling more, and they're talking to people, and they're getting reconnected. And awesome. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. As Doug alluded to a little while ago, Mike, there's lots of things going on there and lots to talk about. We had you in here to talk about the Alister Mackenzie course. I haven't even asked you yet. You described the Alister Mackenzie course and how you feel playing it.
Well, I'm very partial to it, as you might imagine. But what I really enjoy about the Alister Mackenzie course is just the variety. For me, I like shaping the ball both ways, left to right, right to left. And many of those tee shots, you get a huge advantage if you can spin it one way or the other. You can actually get down the fairway quite a bit farther. And then you really need to know where to place the ball on the green depending on where the pin is. You want to be under the hole. When the greens are fast and you get above the hole, you find yourself playing defense. And so being able to hit it in the right spot on the green is just a key there as well. And it's not the kind of course that just beats you up with water hazards everywhere or really, really narrow fairways. It's much more fair. But we find in the big competitions we do with some of the best amateurs in the West, it always seems to identify the best players. It's just the State Fair Championship is our top event of the year, and every year the player that wins is ultimately a Division I All-American. It always really identifies the best players, and I think that's a mark of a really wonderful golf course.
I was really excited when you said stay below the hole, but I'm guessing you don't mean 30 yards short of the green. Mike Woods, head golf professional at Hagan Oaks. Thanks so much for being here.
Yes.
Great time. We appreciate everything you do at Hagan, and give our love to all the folks out there.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Sure will. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. And a few tips I learned last night. Don't go left on 6, because that is the valley of sin, as I learned the hard way last night. And certainly some other great tips as well. But it was a lot of fun, Mike. It's great having you in the KHTK studios.